picture instead of turn on my video. Good morning. Friday again, April 3rd. It's really strange because I've been feeling like the time is dragging, and yet it's already Friday again. And I was thinking about it because, oh, I'm Barbara. Welcome. We had dinner plans March 5th or something like that, a Saturday, the first Saturday in March, which we canceled because of coronavirus, which was quite early. Dennis had gone to his D&D the night before, and you know, his friends were kind of teasing him because he was very concerned about the coronavirus. So that was just like less than a week before, you know, it really got on everybody's radar in the United States. It was already in, you know, other people were already paying attention, but, you know, we were still poo-pooing it. It was, you know, still going to be a miracle in April, and 15 cases and, you know, that kind of thing. So it's been a month since Dennis got us on a pretty strict routine. And I think it wasn't long after that we went to the Costco and sort of, you know, got ready and prepared ourselves. Although the Costco was already out of toilet paper by then. We weren't the only ones. But it's been a month. And this is my 12th, 13th, 14th vlog. I'll know which one it is when I put it up. And I didn't start, you know, the first day we were in lockdown or anything, so it's been quite a while. But it just feels like it's already Friday again, which is interesting. So, anyway, I'm recording this later in the day than I typically do. I'm usually up a little earlier, but I slept really, really badly last night and didn't get up early, and Dennis brought me coffee in bed. That was nice. So you know, and then I took a shower and anyway, so I am recording this where I always do next to Dennis's cute little seedlings, but Dennis is actually sitting right behind me listening. Well, he's trying not to listen, but you know, I'm a talker. My voice carries. So if you hear him or the dogs, I'm not alone today. Not that I'm ever really alone, but usually he's upstairs when I do this. Yeah, I don't know about the bad night. Well, last night I felt like I couldn't settle myself. I mean, you know, I was sitting way too long, so my butt hurt when I went to bed. That didn't help me. I'm going to be exercising today because my butt hurt last night when I tried to go to sleep. But I just, you know, I didn't really craft yesterday, and I couldn't craft last night, and I think I'm at the spot in my sweater where where the lace detail will start, and apparently that's a barrier because I didn't want to work on my sweater. And my new yarn came. Both the yarns I ordered came, but they're in quarantine in the garage. I'm going to do a podcast, regular podcast this weekend, I think, and I'll open them in my regular podcast. So they're out in the garage being quarantined at the moment, so I don't have to spray them or do anything like that. But last night I just, you know, so I ended up reading a book I've read many times before. Do you do that? I do that. It's like some version of cocooning, you know. It's like I don't want to think about anything new. I don't want any, like my aunt once said many years ago, no more input. I don't want any more input. That's what I felt like last night, I guess. So I was rereading a book I've read many times. Do you do that? I go through phases where I don't want any new input. I want to know what's coming, I guess. Maybe that's it. I want to know what's coming. I don't want to, no surprises. Anyway, I also notice while I do this is that I often put my coffee to my mouth and then I keep talking, so you don't know things about yourself till you start editing a vlog every day. It's a little thing, no big deal to me. if it bugs you, then maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it. Now you'll notice. I do it all the time. So yesterday, somebody spoofed my Instagram account. Stephanie from the Mean Girls messaged me and say, hey, is this you? It's not you. It looks like you. But why would, did you start a new account? I'm like, no. So there was somebody who started an account like DeevaaS38 or something like that. And quite a few people messaged me and let me know, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But they took my photo, one of my photos off my account, the one where I'm knitting on the cruise ship with my sister last summer, and DeevaaS38 or something, and started messaging my people. I'm like, and that had happened to me once. Somebody who followed me, or I follow, who I didn't know very well at all. I mean, if someone follows me and they're a knitter, I follow them back. I'm interested to see. I mean, I look at their pictures to see if they're a knitter. Because my Instagram account is a knitting account for the most part, other than a few real life friends. But for the most part, it's a knitting account. So if I don't know you, but you are a knitter, I'll follow you back. So this was somebody who I didn't really know. Started messaging me about, did you know about something, and I'm like, never mind. But turns out, apparently I had followed a spoof account. I have to be more careful about who I follow, apparently. Didn't occur to me before. But, I follow new accounts that don't, if they follow me, and usually somebody else that I follow, it says followed by so-and-so, so okay, fine, I'll follow them, I don't care. It's interesting, I'm not getting like lots of junk in my feed. In fact, I only see things from like a handful of people anymore. I don't know how to change that algorithm. But anyway, so it was really weird, so I posted on Instagram, this is not me, it's my picture, but it's not me. Don't buy anything from them or whatever they're trying to sell you, whatever the point of it is. It's not, but my second reaction was, man, I guess I've made it on Instagram if they're... Isn't that terrible? But I'm like, wow, made me feel like important, like somebody's like spoofing my account, I mean, I have fewer than 600 followers, it's not like I'm a big Instagram account or anything, but it made me feel like I'd arrived on Instagram in a way. But it's a pain in the neck for people to hear from this stupid account. So I apologize for that. Not that it's really my fault, but anyway, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. If I'm wearing a sun hat and sitting in a lounge chair, that's not me. I don't have any numbers in my name. No numbers in my name. So anyway, that was my prime entertainment yesterday. I was like, oh, this isn't me. But it did feel like I kind of arrived on Instagram. That's how desperate they're getting, that they're getting down to somebody like me. Anyway, I'm wearing my Not Too Much. This is my Not Too Much sweater by Hinterm Stein. I will put it down below after I figure out how. Now this is a DK weight sweater. And I made this in January of 2019. It took me about a week to knit it. And I held fingering weight double. And I have 2 skeins of Chili Knits Yummy yarn. Like, her sock yarn is really nice. And she uses these amazing, wonderful, bright colors. And so, I forget what color this is. And then I faded it into the next color. And then that color I faded into the dark gray. And then the whole rest of the sweater is this dark gray down from here. And it's a longer sweater. It's a little bit longer in the back than in the front. And it has, down the back, it has a nice detail down, and it goes down the back. Now this yarn is apparently the worst for showing details. Of course, black, you know, but you can hardly see it in the lighter color either. And this same detail goes down the back. And I thought if I ever make this sweater again, it was easy. It's a comfortable sweater. I would put the detail down the front also. So the bottom, this yarn is Cloudborne yarn, which is Craftsy, which isn't Craftsy anymore. That's their yarn. And this is a workhorse yarn. It's not very expensive. I got a whole bunch of it on sale one time. It's the only time I've ever bought Cloudborne. And I recently made my my second Karina sweater, the one I wore yesterday. The second one I made out of this same yarn in a teal color, which I really like. Anyway, so then I went down, and so the majority of this sweater, I mean, it just comes like across my boobs, and then it's the dark gray all the way down, and it's a nice warm sweater. I do, you know, if I get chilly, I need something around the neck. But the thing that I discovered making this sweater, and my warning to you, is this workhorse yarn, which is also fingering held double, is denser. It knits up denser and heavier than the superwash merino. And I feel like the bottom of the sweater is kind of too heavy for the top of the sweater. Like, it feels really good to have this nice yarn around my neck and around my yoke. But this, you know, it's superwash. This, I don't know if this is superwash or not, but it's a very different density. And it feels like the sweater's like pulling down, like stretching the yoke of the top of this, because the yoke is the superwash merino nylon blend, because it's sock yarn. So anyway, it makes it nice around, you know, feels good, but in terms of like structurally, the sweater would be sounder if the gray were on the top and the colors were on the bottom. In case you're wondering and have any desire to make a sweater. But this is called the Not Too Much, and in my mind, I've translated all morning. I'm thinking, oh, what's the name of that sweater? Not Quite Enough, which is, of course, Leslie's podcast. But it's the Not Too Much by Hinterm Stein. And it's just an easy raglan, straight down, with a little something, something. That was a very fun knit. And I think I knitted up in like a week or week and a half, something like that, last year in January. It was like between podcasts, you know. I hadn't started it at the end of one podcast, and it was finished by the time I podcast again. Of course, I have a tendency to podcast every 3 weeks these days. But anyway, but I didn't do any crafting yesterday. Celeste asked to, you know, see what I was doing with cross stitch. Well, I did put together the kits, a kit for like the 12 days of Christmas. I found most of the yarns, a couple yarns I couldn't find. I'm going to have to figure out what color. Well, I had 4 colors that I couldn't find the yarn, and 2 of those colors are still available, so I was able to see them, and I was able to substitute another yarn that I had that was very close. But there were 2 that the numbers no longer are used by DMC, and I can't figure out what colors they are, so I'm gonna have to go back to the picture and really look hard for those and figure out what they are. I think they might be the like colors to do the outlines and things, so it might not make that much difference. But I sat down to start number 1, the partridge in the pear tree, and I was doing it on white, and of course I usually start in the middle, and the middle was white. And I started it, and I realized I'm not sure I even remember how to cross stitch. That's how long it's been since I really did any cross stitch. Well, I mean, it wasn't that long. It was in January. Well, it's April now. It's April. So I'm going to have to watch a video and sit down, and I think I'm not going to start with those because on some level they're not going to be like fun, exciting things to cross stitch on. They're more like things I want to have, so they're for a later time. I have some kits. I have several kits that I have gotten over the months and year and a half, 2 years since I started cross stitching. So I think I'm going to pick a kit that I have that I like. Obviously, if I bought the kit, I like it. Well, that's not so obvious. I have one kit that maybe I'm going to give in a giveaway because it was one of the first kits I bought, and I started one of them, and I apparently don't want to finish it because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. So I have a second one. It's teacups and things like that. So I will, I maybe put that in a giveaway. I might do that. And so that was Dennis leaving. I'm not sure where he's going. Maybe he's tired of hearing me, but I'm only going to talk for a couple more minutes. So I think I'm going to watch a video again about get me back in the groove and pick one of my kits. So I don't have to do, I can just sit down and do it. The kit has everything. It has all the floss. It has the even weave or whatever, you know, and just go and see how that goes. And I'm going to finish my Behold one of these days. But I'm not going to hold myself to finishing that before I do my kit. In case, you know, in case that's holding me back. I'll decide later when I start. And I need to take a look at my pattern and see if I'm at the lacy part. I need to actually try it on and see, because the lacy part starts like 3 inches from the bottom. So I want to see if I'm 3 inches from the bottom or not. Anyway, so no cross stitch to show today. Who knows, maybe. I'm not really showing much of my crafting on this vlog. Just talking about it and my sweaters. The other thing I was thinking about when I was drinking my coffee is I collect faces, and you can see on my wall over there my masks and faces, and they need to be dusted soon. So I thought maybe when I dust them, I will show you my faces. Who knows when that'll happen, but it was an idea. If you have any interest in seeing my faces, let me know, because some of them are quite fun. I don't necessarily have a lot of information about them, but they're lovely faces. So it's not sunny today, but it's not raining yet, although Dennis tells me it might rain today, and he promised me it wasn't going to rain till Tuesday, so I don't know what's up with that. His phone is becoming very much less reliable than it used to be. Of course, it isn't raining yet. Oh, and the sun's just coming out, so maybe it's totally wrong. That would be great. I have to go out and check and see if I got any grasses growing since I planted those grass seeds. And anyway, I'm going to try to have a better day. Last night I just felt weird, like I just couldn't settle my... It wasn't even my brain was going. It was just like I couldn't figure out what to do. And then I went to bed late, and I didn't fall asleep till like 5 o'clock this morning. It was terrible. And if I weren't tired, I would get up and finish my book. But I didn't even, you know, I'm tired, so I want to be in bed, but I'm not sleepy. Tired, but not sleepy. Anyway, luckily, I don't have anything I have to do today except walk my dogs. And that takes the pressure off. When I had those days back in the day when I did my commute, and I knew I had to get up and drive an hour and 20 minutes and work all day and drive home an hour and 20 minutes. When I couldn't sleep, that was when I would get really anxious, which of course makes it much harder to sleep. So now, it's just annoying and boring. And makes for a low energy day. But I can have a low energy day. That'll be fine. So hopefully, I'm planning on a better day, and I think I'm going to pick a kit and start a kit, see what happens, and watch a video. Remind myself how to cross stitch. I didn't do terrible, but it was white anyway. I don't even know how I did. I cut it out and said I don't want to start with white. That's boring and hard to see on white. So that's my plan. Have a good day. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Social distancing. Stay home if you can. Be careful if you can't and have to be out working. Be so careful and stay sane. And I will talk to you tomorrow.